Okay, so what you're going to do for chapter 12 is just 2 pages. You don't have to do all three of the tens. I only need you to do two. So you're going to start with your education 10-year plan. So when you get to this page, what it is asking you is to specifically concentrate on your education and your training for the next 10 years. So starting, the rest of this year to 2030. Okay, so remember, this is not set in stone. This is just for you to brainstorm and to get to start to think about the future, what you want, what you need to do to achieve your goals, etc. So next year, when you come back to my 10-year plan, you will have the option to edit this and to change it because who knows what you're going to be interested in next year and so on and so forth for the rest of your high school career. So the top part right here, what it's asking is what type of education or training are you wanting to get? So, like the first one for everybody should be high school diploma. And then right here under type, you're going to click high school, and then duration is 4 years. Okay. Then this is where it becomes more individualized. Some of you know you want to go to college. Some of you know you want to go to a junior college. Some of you know that you're going to go right to work afterwards. Maybe some of you want to be electricians or in the construction trade, so you go into an apprenticeship like welding. Maybe some of you aren't going to do any type of education at all afterwards, like you're just going straight to work. So depending on what your choice is what you're going to click here. So, like for instance, if some of you are wanting to go to the military, you can just put the branch here. So, like let's say Marine Corps, it's a military, and it's typically 4 years or 6 years if it is a reserve. The reserves is where you do the 1 week in a month, 2 weeks a year type thing, and you could still live outside and do stuff. But anyways, you can Google that and see if that's something that interests you. So then you'll just put the year commitment. So whatever you're planning on doing, you're going to put it here, and then you're going to select the correct category and then the amount of time it's going to take for that. So you have high school, community college. Community college is going to be like BC. It's like a junior college. 4-year university, that's like Cal State Bakersfield and UCs and stuff like that. Graduate school, that's when you go to get your master's degree. Technical school, that's going to be like UTI or those commercials where you hear about like learning how to work on motorcycles or cars or whatever. Those are technical schools. Also, SJVC, I think, is a technical school where you learn like phlebotomy and stuff like that. An apprenticeship, that's the one I just mentioned. Like if you're a welder, you go get an apprenticeship where you like follow somebody around and they teach you on the job. On the job training is a little bit different. That's specific to some jobs. You've been doing career research, so you'll know if that's specific to your job or not. Online learning, that's like if you want to take an online university only, like while you're working, military, and then if there's some other educational plan or learning plan that you have. You do not have to fill in all four. There's just 4 spaces in case it happens to be 4. Then here, use the information above to determine how many more years of formal education or training you need. So all you need to do is add up the duration and then put it here. So for my example, it's 8. Okay, now this is where you need to start being specific about classes and things that you're doing. So right here, under this year, you're going to mark down what classes you need to take to stay on track. So like this year, you have just list some classes. Like everybody has to take 4 years of math. Everybody has to take 4 years of English. Everybody has to take, I think it's 3 years of history. Everybody has to take 2 years of science, et cetera, et cetera. So that you're going to list out the classes that you have. And that's this year. So next year, you need to also put those down. You're in high school, so you're going to put down whatever classes you need to take in order to stay on track to get your high school diploma. So you're going to do that all the way until, so you have year 1, freshman year, sophomore year, junior year, senior year is year 3. Because remember, this year is not counting as a number. So this is your senior year. So I'm just going to type it here. Don't type that. This is just a placeholder for you to remember that this is your senior year of high school. Okay, now year 4 is the year after you graduate high school. So then this is where, again, it's highly personalized. Are you going to go to college? Are you going to go to a technical school? Are you going to start working? Are you doing on-job training, apprenticeship, the military, whatever? And so then that's where you start to put in here, like what are your plans, your action plans for that time. So you're going to fill it in all the way until year 10. So like obviously if you're going to school or working somewhere in here, you're going to graduate. So you would just put that you're graduating, and then the following year you want to put that like you're already working in that job. So all the way down to year 10. So I'm just verifying. Excuse me. Yeah. So you're going to go all the way down to year 10. So like some jobs require you to continue to learn and to take classes. Like if you're a doctor, if you're a teacher, if you're in certain professions, then you need to continue to go to school. So you would just do something like continuing professional development. That's what it's called. So like I take professional development. So we just call it PD. I take professional development to like keep up with technology, learn teaching methods, et cetera, et cetera. And like doctors obviously have to do that, right? Because there's advances in medicine, nurses too. So like they have to be up to date with that. You don't want to go see a doctor who still uses medicine from 100 years ago. Like as medicine advances, they have to continue to take classes. So that's that one. And then the other one that you're going to do is going to be your action plan for the next 10 years. So this one is going to be comprehensive. It's not specifically just education. It's also all your other goals together. So remember one of the other chapters we talked about goals, like what are your goals for the future from 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, whatever. So right here, you're going to put what is your goal for 10 years from now? What do you want to have accomplished? Where do you want to be in your life? So be specific. Don't just say, I want to be successful. You need to say, like, I want to be working at this job. I want to be married and have a family. I want to achieve this education. So you need to be specific and write that down right here. Then from that point on, you're going to break it down into like, what are you going to do to reach those goals? So like year one, remember, starts next year. So year one, your education training. So obviously you want to continue to be in high school. You want to get good grades. What are your living arrangements? Well, obviously it's going to be with your parents or your grandparents or your guardians, whoever you happen to be living with. And your employment, most of you are probably still not going to work next year. So you can just say NA. And your finances, that means like, where are you getting your money from? So like, are you getting an allowance? Are you doing odd jobs? Where is your money coming from? Or where do you expect your money to come from? You're going to do that all the way until year 10. So you're going to try to put out a basic map of your life for the next 10 years. Where are you going to be living? Where are you going to be working? How are you going to get money? And what kind of education and training are you doing? Maybe you're already working at that time. Maybe you're still in college. Maybe you're getting your master's. Maybe you're getting your doctorate. Whatever it is, you're going to create a 10-year plan. Remember, this is your final project. You have to create this 10-year plan and have it done before you leave class next week. Remember, next week is our last week together. So that's what you're going to do. Now, this is highly individualized, so I can't guide you more than just saying the questions like, where are you going to be living? Where are you going to be working? Where are you getting your money? And where are you studying if you're studying? So this is highly individualized. You just have to go through and just think about how long is it going to take for me to get my schooling? How long is it going to take for me to start my job? Where am I going to be? Am I going to move? So the entire time that we've been doing this course has been culminating to this point. That's why you've been doing research into what your life is going to look like. What kind of car you want to buy? What kind of house you want to buy? Where do you want to live? Where do you want to work? What are your goals for your life? That's why we've been doing all this research and all these projects, is to get to this point for you to be able to make this 10-year plan, hence the class name, 10-year plan. Okay, so that's what you're going to work on today. If you get stuck, you can ask me questions, but again, I'm just going to redirect you back to like where you want to be at this point in your life. Okay, there's no right or wrong answers. There's no right or wrong answers because everybody is different and everybody has a different plan and a different path for their life. Okay, this is just to get you started thinking about what that's going to look like. And remember, this is not set in stone. You can change this at any time. Maybe you change your mind and you don't want to do that anymore. That's perfectly fine. Adults change their mind all the time. I change my mind all the time. in high school and in college. So it's perfectly fine. That is okay. This is just supposed to be like a rough draft that you're going to be editing the following 3 years of high school, because you're going to come back every year to your 10-year plan to modify it and do some activities to see where you're at, where you came from, and where you're going. So good luck.